Let's jump right into this. Hi, guys. My name is Meebs. Today we are starting on our Cincinnati Reds Out of the Park Baseball 25 save. I will be playing this in challenge mode, not only to rack up some PT cards, but also just to not let myself step out of the boundaries, go into commissioner mode, change stats behind the scenes. I want you guys to see base gameplay. I made some minor modifications to the settings that I'll go over in a minute. Again, most of that was taken from PF Holden's tutorials over the last couple years, same kind of recipe. So, the first thing I wanted to do is to bring out my little presentation. Welcome. My name is Coach Meebs. You can find me live on twitch.tv/Meebs47. I'll be recording a lot of out of the park baseball saves during the course of the season and going into the postseason, hopefully, with the Baltimore Orioles on top of the AL East. But as much fun as it is to do Baltimore Orioles save, I think I've spent 1,000 hours over the last two iterations of the game, mainly using the Baltimore Orioles. I want to give myself a little challenge, get familiar with some different teams, so I picked a lower middle quartile team that has potential, just like the Baltimore Orioles did in the previous years, and hopefully kind of build them into the new Orioles dynasty using what I've learned there. So let's get right into it. First thing I would like for you guys to do is get familiar with the team as well. I went to Fangraphs and pulled their projected playing time for the fielding positions and wanted to build a realistic lineup based off of what's going to happen in the real world. So let's just go through these guys right here, mainly basing it off of who's going to be the stars, who's going to get the most playing time. Obviously, our everyday shortstop is going to be the switch hitting phenom, the speedster, Ellie De La Cruz. We're going to hopefully work on his contact, get more balls in play, reduce that strikeout rate, and really see him blossom into the future of the MLB. On third base, we have the switch hitting Jenner. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna butcher these names. Candelario. We're gonna have the switch hitting Candelario on third base. Again, please bear with me as there are some complicated names on this team, and I'm hopefully gonna learn them and have them down a couple days into the save. Our next prospect, who is going to be our everyday first baseman, the right-handed Christian Encarnacion Strand. We're just going to call him Christian Strand for my own sake here, but hopefully we'll have that down a little bit better. We're going to have another young guy, Matt McLean. Hopefully he's going to be taking most of second base playing time when he's off the injured list, which I'll go over in a minute. We have Will Benson, who's going to be starting for us in right field pretty much every day. Was a really valuable trade that the Reds made a couple years back, or to get Benson. Watch a video on that. Maybe we'll watch that as well. Spencer Steer is going to be our starting left fielder. TJ Friedel is going to be our starting center fielder, and I believe he's starting the year off injured as well. At catcher, we have Tyler Stevenson and the 33-year-old Luke Mail. I'll double check the name and pronunciation later. But for our utility infielders, we got Jonathan India and Espinal, who's really just kind of like a spray line drive hitter. Really interesting profile. Looking to compare him versus Jonathan India going into the offseason. Other than that, I'm trying to think of any names to note. Stuart Fairchild is a great defensive center fielder, so he's going to be our defensive sub most of the time. And I believe that covers all the bases I wanted to touch here. Moving on to this pitching core, our main starting pitchers, we got Hunter Green, Graham Ashcraft, Frankie Montas, Nick Lodolo, who's going to start the season on the injured reserves, Andrew Abbott, Nick Martinez, I believe, and then we kind of have some AAA guys that'll probably get the nod if things go awry with injuries or performance-enhancing drugs. Our closer is going to be the one, the only Alexis Diaz. Everybody knows that kind of holds down the bullpen for the Reds, and hopefully will continue to do that for us into the future. He stays healthy. Emilio Pagan, Lucas Sims, Brent Sutter, Fernando Cruz, Buck Farmer, I think, Sam Mole, TJ Atone, I forget who Wilson is again. Those are the bullpen guys. We'll be making some interesting moves there, hopefully, to work within our ballpark that loves to give up home runs. We're going to be making some interesting bullpen adjustments, some trades, some signings, some moves to just, again, help the pitchers out. We got elite defense, but we can't defend home runs. So we need strikeouts and we need ground balls, especially from the lefties. All right, looking at the Fangraphs projections, again, this is the real life version. Looking at our pitching core, just like with the playing time percentages, this is kind of looking at, okay, what are we looking at as our baseline for these guys? I just kind of wanted to highlight a couple that we're going to be keeping a close eye. It'd be interesting to compare the out of the park simulation to real life projections as well, because again, it's baseball. You never know what's going to happen. But I love to compare that kind of stuff and see who was right about what. So Hunter Green, the main thing on him is going to be limiting those walks. 3 walks per 9, 3.5 walks per 9 will be manageable. But if he's giving up a lot of walks, he's giving up a lot of home runs. He pitches that ball. He pitches that ball fast. He goes like 104. I mean, it is lightning quick, but it makes contact with that bat. It's going out of the park. And if you can't control it, we're going to give up free bases. So really hope his ERA is going to be a little higher, but we're hoping that that K's number is 10 plus 11, 12. Really just want to see more Ks, less walks. We'll give up some home runs here and there, but those are the two main factors I'm looking at there. Really, it's gonna be rough limiting home runs. When you look at the rest of the starting lineup, thankfully we should have less. Frankie Montas is going to be an interesting player that we might end up trading. They're projecting to have a 2-WAR season. We'll hold him to it. We'll put his feet to the fire. He has a bad personality type this year. And you know how I feel about bad personality types. We don't want that in the clubhouse. We'll probably kick him out if he's not performing. Andrew Abbott hopefully has a decent 100-inning season. We'd love to see that out of him without giving up too many runs and then just kind of going down the bullpen. Really, Fernando Cruz, Connor Phillips, who I'm looking to call up soon. He should actually be a starting pitcher for us. Lucas Sims are our big strikeout guys. Our lowest control guys, according to these projections, Yosver, Zuleta, Christian Roa, yeah, that's not really going to matter, but Alexis Diaz is going to have to limit those. Again, he can give up some walks. He's not giving up home runs, and he's striking guys out. So that's what we're hoping. Alexis Diaz holds us down there. Looking at our hitters, Ellie De La Cruz is going to have to lead that group. Pray he makes contact and run. Spencer Steer, I mean, we might even just have him bunt. If that bat ain't coming along, then all right, Ellie, you're going to get up there and you're going to bunt. We're going to make him work. Spencer Steer, switch hitting third baseman, Jameer Candelario, 1.8. So really, there's no big standouts out of this bunch. So I'm hoping that some of these guys take the initiative and they have a breakout year. Some of these guys are going to be replacement level. The young ones, I'm hoping to wheel and deal while we can still get a good value for them, not let them creep up in arbitration and then not know what to do with them. So really, it's going to be a lot of make or break chances because we got prospects coming up. We got guys coming for their spot. So obviously, gonna have to Marte. No, we'll look that one up. Unfortunately, he's going to start the season off suspended for 80 games. I believe it was due to performance enhancing drugs. You hate to see it. Was it just a alternative COVID cure? Who knows? But he's going to be missing half the season. He's MLB ready. He's got 70 potential according to the game, and I would love to plug him in at second base or shortstop, depending on our needs at the time. If Elideo Cruz is not a good defensive shortstop, we'll move him to third. We'll move him to second. We'll move him DH if we have to. But Marte has the tools. He just needs to lay off the special stuff. And I'm comparing the MLB rankings, which I think updated like a week ago. And then I just pulled their out of the park projections. Again, the real life versus the game, it's a different model. So some of these guys like Rhett Lauder, let's go Deeks. He's number 2 according to MLB.com, but according to Out of the Park, he's like number 8. He's not even cracking the top 100. But then we also have another shortstop. We really have a log jam of shortstops, so we're going to figure out which ones we want to wheel and deal, which ones we want to continue to develop. We have another pitcher, Chase Petty. His pitch mix is looking a little weak, although his potential stats are very good. He's going to be one of the prospects we're looking to wheel and deal. Sal Stewart, again, another. He's going to be a lefty infield bat. I would like to. No. Sal, I think, is right-handed. Cam is lefty. Again, we got so many infielders. We're going to figure out what to do with them. Right now, I prefer Cam over everybody else besides Marte and Arroyo. So those will kind of be my 3 core guys. I skipped over Connor Phillips. In the stats, potential-wise, he doesn't look good, but he's got 4 plus pitches. Seems like a guy who should be ready to play this year. I'm hoping to call him up, hopefully get him in a starter position. I don't want to have him toil around in the bullpen. We got a catcher down here. We got another utility infielder. But let's just move on. Looking at the contracts, this is from Out of the Park Baseball. I think they're accurate to date as of the last patch. I just wanted to highlight some key things. So this is our lockdown core, essentially. Candelario and Hunter Green, we have them signed through 2027. Hunter Green, we have signed through 2029. These are guys that we are invested in and don't have to worry about their contracts, but we might have to worry about selling off that contract if something else happens. Hunter Green's only 24 years old. In real life, would I make this deal? Probably not. But that's what we're working with. And then Candelario, age 30, 31, 32, 33, switch hitter, power hitter. Hopefully not too much fall off, but maybe that team option's worth it. We'll find out. Probably not. Moving on to the second group I want to focus on are the team options going into next year. Frankie Montas, do I really want to pay you 20 mil if you're not going to have a Cy Young caliber season? Maybe not, but he could be our last best option, and we have him on contract. We don't have to worry about free agency. It'll be a conundrum to think about during the trade deadline. Luke Mail, backup catcher, 34 years old. Nothing too crazy about him defensively or offensively, so we'll probably reject that team option. And then Brent Suter, relief pitcher for 3.5 mil. We'll see. I don't really know much about him. Other than that, we have our guys who are expiring at the end of the year. Lucas Sims, Buck Farmer, Justin Wilson. Those are the relievers. We'll judge them based off their merit. And then Anthony Alford, he's on a $1 million deal this year, going into his year 30 season. No, nothing there. He's an elite defensive center fielder, but unfortunately, we're good. we're good. He also has a bad personality type, so him and Frankie are the clubhouse cancers, uh, so to speak. And then we also have guys going in arbitration, but we'll deal with that as they pop up. Miscellaneous info that I thought would be important for this video. Just right now, looking at our player rankings, our weakest position is the catcher with Tyler Stevenson. He's 27 years old. He's not bad. He's not great. We'll deal with him. We'll be looking to buy, hopefully, a catcher that will hold it down for the long term. Again, the prospect ranked 13th, great. Young guy ranked 4th, great. Calendario 16th. We'll see how that adjusts. This is just kind of speculation. Marte, you're not even playing. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so they got Marte as our top-rated shortstop over Ellie De La Cruz. So I guess they're pretty low on Ellie and out of the park. Uh, or Marte really is just that good. Spencer Steer, 9th ranked left fielder. Jake Fraley, 13th ranked center fielder. Will Benson, they have him ranked pretty low, 23rd. Young guy, hoping to develop him more. And again, Hunter Green's our best pitcher. They rank him 21st. I think he's a little bit better than that. I think that he'll hopefully impress with some good coaching. And then bullpen ranks 23rd, or closer ranks 23rd. I call it a little BS. I think we'll be better than that. But again, those are the areas where I've identified we need to improve at. Just looking at the financials, boring. I beefed up the development budget to 20 million, which is as high as I really want to go. I want to keep it semi-realistic. I usually meddle around in the 16 to 18 range, but with a focus on developing the young core, I'll beef it up. And then we got 12 million in the scouting budget. I'll show you the allocation screens in a minute. But that leaves us with 4,330,000 to mess around with before, like the week before the season starts. If I want to sign anybody, might use that on a free agent or two. We'll check the markets. The ballpark factors. Again, just wanted to pull this up so that way we know kind of what we're looking for in our pitchers and what we're looking for in our hitters. I think that a efficient executive GM person that's making the calls factors in their home ballpark. And so we're just not going to get a big bat to get a big bat. If we can get a lefty big bat, you see that split right there, 1.4%. I guess it's 140%. Call that a boost to the home runs coming out of lefties versus 126%. So really, if we can get some big lefty bats, we're gonna have a lot more home runs. Well, not a lot of triples, so that means we can worry less about defensive range in the outfield compared to like cores. It's not like the ball's gonna just find a hole every single time. It's a pretty shallow infield. Our guys should be able to get to it and limit triples. Doubles are about par for the course, but it is a hitter's ballpark for sure. That's going to make the pitching tricky. Looking at our injured list, we got Nick Lodolo out for 8 to 9 weeks. We got Ian, like really our best reliever. He's going to be out for a month. Another pitcher going to be out for a month. Matt McClain's going to be out for 2 months. TJ Friedel should be back in 2 months. So really, once Matt McClain and TJ come back, I'll be very happy. With Lodolo, we'll see about sending them down to get on the get some AAA reps as part of their rehab plan. And then Marte, just shown right here, he's suspended 80 games. The plan: develop young talent. Our aces are Hunter Green, Connor Phillips, and go Deeks, Rhett Lauder. Connor Phillips should be coming up to the show this year. Rhett Lauder's a couple years off, maybe next year, but we really just want to focus in on his development and becoming the best pitcher he can be. Our infielders we're going to focus on developing Ellie De La Cruz and Christian Strand, obviously. Marte and Collier kind of out of that infielder group. I'd be happy with them. And then Strand, maybe we can teach him another. Maybe he can play second base. Maybe he can play third base. But just get more utility out of him. For our outfielders, Will Benson, even though he's getting a little bit older, Spencer Steer, even though he's getting a little bit older, we really need to add more elite prospects in the outfield. That ties into adding lefty power bats. We really want to maximize the amount of home runs we can hit at home. In order to do that, we need lefties. Right now, we have a couple, but we need more. And then for the pitching side of that, I want to revamp the bullpen by adding a bunch of, not a bunch, but just 2 or 3 lefty specialist ground ball pitchers that we can call up whenever heat's on. We gotta prevent home runs. Hey, we give up a hit or two there, but no 2-3 run home run in the bottom of the 8th or top of the 8th. Some trades I'm looking to make. The number 69 prospect, according to Out of the Park, Chase Petty, his pitch mix just ain't what I like. He just seems like he's a highly touted pitcher, but I want nothing to do with him. Sal Stewart is almost going to crack. Maybe he cracks in the top 100. It'll be a little easier deal. We'll sit on for a little bit, but he's a trade chip I'm holding on to. Jonathan India, second baseman. We can get guys to replace him. I think he's going to be $3 million. I go back. Here, Jonathan India, $3.8 million this year, $5 million, and then a possible $10 million plus arbitration. While we also have the option of Santiago Espinal, it'll be cheaper and about just as good. So he'll probably get dealt at some point. Anthony Alford, just for the personality, and also we're good defensively in center field. We don't need a super rangy defensive center fielder at the moment. And then our backup catcher, they're paying $3 million to, Luke. We're gonna win games. We're gonna make the playoffs, and we're gonna have fun. Ultimately, what I want to do with this is just add to the Out of the Park community, add to the lore. I know that there's a ton of people just like me trying to fall asleep watching YouTube videos every night, and these are quite a hoot. And I have fun with it. Hopefully, you'll have some fun with it too. Drop down any suggestions you have in the comments, any pronunciations I need to learn, any guys you think I should add, any red flags I didn't pick up on. Feel free to let me know in the comments. And of course, we're doing it for her. Move over Mismet. Move over Mismet. We have this, I forget her name. Hold up. The Reds mascot lady. Rosie Red. We have Rosie Red. We're doing it for Rosie Red. Do it for her. Moving on now to the actual game itself. Right now we're opening day. They're doing the Soul Series. The news about Shohei Ohtani just broke. So we'll see about that. What I've done in the meantime is I went through the team personnel. I fired a bunch of guys who brought nothing to the table. I offered contracts to a bunch of good guys, including, let's see right here, Rick Hahn as my scouting director. Let's go White Sox. Dave, let's see, let's rank them by level here. Dave Bush, Josh Conway, Jesse Dill, Ben Johnson. You know the regular names. I'll show you guys my filters that I use to find good staff as well at a later date. But we filled up our bench coaches with. I fired some guys from the major league team, and I brought up good staff that I had in the minors. So we have a bunch of good guys for cheap right now. I think you're a regular. Like this guy here, Rainer Oliveros, has excellent relationships with everybody. I wanted somebody that was good at teaching outfield and teaching running. He filled the hole, so I called him up. I think he was on the Dominican squad. And then let's just see here, the pitching coach. Yep, this is a guy that I brought up. I forgot where from, but he's got. It's just good enough. I was just trying to be cheap and bring some people up. That leaves us right there. I didn't make any changes. Our trainer's fine, even though that prevent arm injuries is average. He's on a 3-year deal. We'll see. We'll see. I want to keep it semi-realistic. I don't want to get all the cheat codes. Uh, but I'll tell you how to get the cheat codes if you want them. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna wait for Rick Hahn to sign. Hopefully he signs today. Here to help. First free agent signing. Oh, I signed a couple just minor league free agents. Ben Johnson agrees to the contract. Junior Marino inks the deal. He just had an interesting profile. High work ethic, low intelligence, but at 19 years old, I think his history. He was a free agent released by the Twins. So maybe they saw something they didn't like, but whatever. He was on the free agent market, wanted to grab a couple. Uh, Real quick, I'll go into my manager options. I'm gonna turn on minor league promotions and demotions to auto, and really we're gonna leave all that there. Uh, I do want to go into the player strategies. This is gonna be a pretty in-depth one, so we'll get to that in a minute. Another quick thing, just want to go over my game settings to show you guys the screen. Copy PF Holden's video pretty much verbatim on his setups. If we go right here, we got the aging speed at 0.9, the batter development speed at 1.1. We left the pitcher development speed at 1, TCR at 100, talent change randomness. The only other things that I really changed, basically want to limit to just team location and nickname change. Don't want any wackadoodle stuff going on in the background that throws off the save. For the rules, allowed injured player trading, allowed draft pick trading, and I changed the draft date to June 1st. Again, we want to get those guys in rookie ball before the rookie ball season starts, and I think PF Holden did a great job explaining that reasoning as well. I'm going to adopt it here. We have a lot of international free agents, a few international scouting discoveries. I know that they're super OP, so I just want to limit to like 8 a year. A couple pre-generated free agents that'll come over, and other than that, disabled spring training. I don't want to deal with sending the whole. If you've done a spring training, you gotta send everybody spring training. You gotta bring them back and sort them all out again. I'm just gonna leave that alone. And we'll mess around with the player development lab during that time, hopefully. Real quick, we'll look at the top 100 prospects. We got Jackson Holiday. Let's go O's. We'll see when he gets called up in the save. Wyatt Langford should have an absolutely monster year for Texas. Jackson Chorio's he's like the youngest. He's the first, like one of the first ball players born in 2004 to start a major league game. Pretty cool. Yamamoto, Paul Skeens, Evan Carter, Samuel Basalo again. Oh, we're going to hopefully rival the O's in dominance of elite prospects. But, alright, so what we're going to do now that our scouting director is signed, we advanced a couple days into the future, waiting for him to sign, and right now I need him to go and do scouting. We're going to focus on the Major League team and the AAA team, just getting his assessment. For opening day, I'll show you guys the lineups I built based on out of the park projections and also keeping it realistic to real life. We'll go over here. We're Cincinnati Reds. We're looking at let's look at the lineup first. So at leadoff every day, the only two positions I'm platooning is second base and DH, just because everybody else for the Reds is going to start every day. Starting shortstop is going to be Ellie De La Cruz at leadoff. Elite speed, again, just get on base, Ellie. You'll handle the rest. Christian Strand will be batting second. Big power bat. Again, just looking at my max power guys. He's my best power guy. I need him to hit dingers. And then going down from there, home run threats. Candelario, Will Benson, Spencer Steer, Jake Fraley, and Tyler Stevenson. Spencer Steer, Luke Fraley will be basically Will Benson, Spencer Steer, Jake Fraley, the outfield core. They'll be taken up there. Again, once my guys come back from injuries, we'll look at that again. Tyler Stevenson, he'll be batting seventh. Jonathan India and Edwin Rios will be the right-handed pitcher, bottom of the order, and Santiago Espinal and Jonathan India will be bottom of the order against the lefties. Look, if you want to take a look at the generated depth charts, here they are. This is generated depth chart versus right, and generated depth chart versus left. Pinch runners, pinch hitters, pretty much the same thing there. Really? We change that to if starter tired. We'll see how it goes. We'll be watching these first couple games quickly, and I'm going to clear this out and show you guys how I set up my bullpen. We're going to go to out of the park scouting. I had them sorted by salary, but really we're going to focus on the starting rotation. So this is what the game had. It had Frankie Montas, Nick Martinez, Hunter Green, Graham Ashcraft, and Andrew Abbott. Really, I see no reason to mess with that. They all have number one, the stamina. So we sort by stamina. They got enough to go, enough innings. The weakest out of that bunch, let's go to starters. Weakest out of that bunch, Graham Ashcraft. He's 26 years old. He's got 4 pitches: fastball, slider, changeup, sinker. I like that pitch mix. I like that stamina. I like that home run prevention. Extreme ground ball. He has the potential to do great. Really hoping for a lot from him. Let's look here. Andrew Abbott. He's our lefty starting pitcher. Amazing stuff. Decent movement, decent control. A fastball, slider, changeup combo. You'd like to see another pitch? Maybe we add that in during development. But can't complain for a 3-pitch guy. Maybe I change out that fastball for a sinker. But can't complain. Can't complain. Young. Hopefully you can lock him up to a good deal. He performs well. Frankie Montas, again, if you look at his personality, he's unmotivated, got low work ethic and low adaptability. Hopefully his numbers make that meaningless. But looking at his previous seasons, again, he was in New York for a little bit. Went from Oakland to New York. Let's double check that. That's kind of interesting. Was traded by the Los Angeles Dodgers to the Oakland Athletics. And then he was traded by the Athletics with Lou Trevino to the New York Yankees. Waldecuk, JP Sears, big trade there. And then he became a free agent and went to the Reds. Okay. So he did half a season. He went to New York the later half. But really didn't do great. He didn't do great there. He did all right. I don't know maybe a low sample size, only 40 innings pitched, and also pitched in New York. He's got a chip on his shoulder. New York media hates him. Nick Martinez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus pitches. Right-hander, 33 years old is the only question mark. And we have him on the player option. We'll see if he takes. If he has a good season, he'll probably test free agency, and we'll try to re-sign him there. Maybe we try to re-sign him during the season. Oh, he's gonna be older. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And then of course Hunter Green. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Elite stuff. I mean, this guy's gonna be a strikeout machine. Last season, 12 Ks per 9, but it's gonna be that home run and that walk. You have to be careful there. He could just give up some free bases, give up some free runs. If he can get a little bit more control, we'll put him in the lab. He'll be something special. Pumping 101. Oh, what do you do against that? So that basically covers all the bases. Let's take a look at free agency. Just kind of see who's available at the beginning of the season. We'll sort by current overall. Elvis Andrus. Really, we don't have any holes we need to fill. Oh, who am I kidding? I forgot to set the pitching staff. All right, so our number 1 starter obviously is going to be Hunter Green. Let's go back to just the starters. Looking at these guys. I like that Nick Martinez pitch mix. I like everything about him. We'll have him number 2. Frankie Montas will be our number 3. And yeah, Andrew Abbott and Graham, it'll be number 5. Now let's look at our relievers. Of course, we're gonna have to put Alexis Diaz. Does he have the stamina to be a stopper? He does. He does. We'll get into the stopper role later. It's just that fastball slider. That fastball slider. I don't trust that in a multi-inning stopper kind of situation. So we'll leave him there as the closer. Looking at our lefties, who do we want our lefty specialist to be? We got the best stuff versus lefties. Really? Nobody. This is why we need that lefty bullpen. We got 2 old guys. Justin Wilson, who is a fastball, curveball cutter, and Brent Suter. I think he's going to be our specialist with a slider, changeup, sinker. Yeah, I prefer that. So we'll have, and that was Sutter. Brent Sutter will be our. Where is the specialist? There it is. Specialist versus left-handed, and you'll also fill in at middle relief. All right, so we have our specialist. What about our specialist versus righties? Fernando Cruz. He's just electric. He's electric. If he can throw strikes, limit home runs again. He's basically mini Hunter Green. I would like to have him in the setup. And then who else will be set up as well? Maybe we just run with one setup guy. Is there anybody else just jumping off the page? Buck Farmer, got a good pitch mix. TJ, don't good slider, curveball, sinker. It's interesting. Who's got the most control out of the bunch? Emilio Pagan. Oh yeah, Who are we paying the most? Yeah, Emilio. You'll be our other setup, and you'll be the 8th inning. You'll be the 7th inning. And you'll also fill in as closer when needed. For these guys, who's got the most stamina? TJ is going to be our long relief and our emergency starting pitcher. Do I want that emergency? I don't want him starting anything. That leaves us with Buck Farmer, who's going to be my go. Let's see how these guys. All of you in middle relief. All of yous. Buck Farmer's got 60 stuff, 50 movement, 70 stuff, 60. Yeah, Lucas Sims, but he's a little bit wild. Oh, they're all good. Who do I want to use more often, though? Alright, we're just going to use Void High Leverage with Justin Wilson. I just don't like that. Just don't. And then out of these 2 as my backup setup guy. Oof. I think fly ball pitcher, extreme fly ball, but extreme. This is pop ups, throw strikes. I would I want to have him avoid high leverage, but yeah, I'd rather have you avoid high leverage, and you'll be my backup setup guy. And Buck, you can help with long relief if we need somebody for that as well. And then that leaves Brent. You'll be middle relief, long relief. Yeah. All right, I'm happy with the bullpen there. Let's just double check free agency one more time. And let's look at all pitchers. I want lefties. It's going to be tricky. They aren't going to want to give me that. Essentially, the best stuff versus lefties. Amir Garrett. Ooh. No control. Really want above 40 control. Jeez. He was like a 4A guy, elite stuff. The scouting report says we limited heavily scripted bullpen usage. He's a ground baller. We'll leave this alone for now. The waiver wire's got nothing on it. Mark Kana's on the trading block. Fantastic. We're not gonna make any moves there yet. The one thing I did want to see is like, what would people give me for Chase if I try to deal him now? Let's just see shot player around. He can take the ego hit. Let's do single player, prospects and regulars. Let's just see. Anything stands off the page. Nacho Alvarez, 20-year-old shortstop. Okay, that's interesting. But nothing elite. Really good center field. Ooh, Robert Collis. What kind of a right-handed power hitter with elite defensive range? It's not gonna be the end of the world for defense. So, Corey Julks. He would be an interesting ad. That's kind of no, he's right-handed. Let's see. Joe Adele, righty. Mickey Moniak. Mickey Moniak is a little bit of what we're looking for. He's also just a nice guy. I like nice guys on the team. Yeah, we might just look for the lefty power bats later. But we're getting some decent trade bait with Chase. Hopefully he's not too mad. Yeah, he'll be fine. So let's just go ahead and simulate until opening day. We'll just do day by day. Dominican Republic. Con is from Berto Flores. 20. We've got 4 pitches. 16 years old. Sim each day. All right, and so this is just kind of the setup view. I think we've already been going for, sheesh, I don't even know how long at this point. Hopefully it's been recording. But 45 minutes, yeah, that's exactly where I want to end this episode off at. So anybody was watching in the chat, thank you very much. For the people on YouTube, come check out the Twitch stream. We'll be doing lots more of this. And let me know your thoughts, comments, suggestions in the comment section below. Hit a like on that video, subscribe. More coming to your homepage soon. Sign